guide you through a hip opening flow today. If you have some blocks, then they might come in handy if you use them in your practice anyway. Otherwise, if you're at home and you don't have any blocks, you can also use some books or something similar. I tend not to play any music during these yoga classes on YouTube because you might hate my music. But if you're on a laptop, I think you can open up a separate tab and play your own music from Spotify to go along with this class if you want, or you can just tune into your breath. Let's begin. So we're going to start in a constructive rest pose. So come and lie down on your back. Keep the soles of the feet on the floor, and you can either have the feet hips width apart, knees pointing up towards the sky, or you can heel toe your feet as wide as your yoga mat and just let the knees drop in against one another. And then bring the arms down by your sides, tuck the shoulder blades under, and then place one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. Take a breath in through the nose and breathe out through the mouth. Feel the shoulders melt down into the mat. And then take a few more nice deep breaths like that, in through the nose and out through the mouth. And as you exhale, you can softly close your eyes and start to feel the body grounding down into the mat. And then straight away, as we settle in, bring your awareness to your breath. And see if you can make your breath a little bit longer, a little bit slower. So maybe add 1 second to your inhale and 1 second to your exhale. Start to become aware of the meeting points between your body and the ground beneath you. So maybe just gently wiggling the toes, feeling into the soles of the feet, feeling the floor beneath you. And then just notice which other parts of your body are pressing into the ground. Backs of your arms, back of your head, tops of your shoulders. Let the breath be even slower, even softer. Take a nice deep breath in through your nose. And then as you release, you can open the eyes, bring the palms down by your sides. If you had the feet open as wide as your mat, then just heel toe them in so they're hip distance apart. And then on your next inhale, press into the feet, lift the hips up to the sky for bridge pose. So we're just pressing into the feet, squeezing the hips, drawing the legs together. And just being careful not to dump too much weight into your neck here. See if you can distribute the weight evenly between your feet, the backs of your arms, your shoulders, your hands. Take a breath in. And as you breathe out, slowly lower back down to the floor. Nice. And then just gently sway the knees from left to right. And then bring the soles of the feet flat to the floor. Then place your right ankle on top of the left knee. If this already feels enough, you can use the right hand to gently press the leg away from you, just opening up through the hip. Otherwise, you can lift the foot away from the floor, interlace the fingers on top of the shin or behind the left leg, the back of the left leg, and then gently draw the knees towards your chest. So you should feel nice stretch in the outer right hip here. And each time you exhale in this pose, see if you can relax the shoulders. So quite often the shoulders want to tense and lift up. See if you can just relax here. Good, and then release the sole of the left foot to the floor. Straighten the right leg up to the sky, and you can interlace the hand behind the right thigh, the hamstring, and then just start to point and flex the toes. So pointing the foot even. I can't get my words out already. Point the toes and then pressing the heel towards the sky and just move in between those two motions. Feeling a nice stretch down the front side of your shin, the back side of your calf, your ankles. And then start to draw some circles with the ankle in one direction. And then change direction. And then release the sole of the foot back to the floor. And then cross the left ankle on top of the right knee. Again, gently draw the knees into the chest, or stay here and gently press the leg away from you. Relax your shoulders. Breath is nice and soft. Good, and then release the sole of the right foot to the floor, straighten your left leg, interlace the hands wherever feels comfortable, and start to point and flex again through the foot. Noticing the difference in the sensation in the leg as you point the toes and then flex. Good, and then draw some circles in one direction and then change direction. Lovely. And then just bring the knees into the chest. Place the palms on top of your knees and start to draw some circles with the hips on the knees. Drawing the knees away from each other and then back together. Do one more circle in this direction and then we'll change. And then change direction on the circles. Taking a few rounds here, just starting to slowly open up through the hips. Feel the lower part of your back gently being massaged on the floor. All right, last one here. And then we're going to hold on to the backs of the thighs and just use momentum to gently rock forwards and backwards. We'll take a few rocks here. And then maybe on your third rock, come up into a seat, roll over the legs, and then make your way into a tabletop position. So the hands are underneath the shoulders, the knees are underneath the hips. And then from here, let's take a few rounds of cat-cow just to warm up through the spine first before we move. So inhale, drop the belly gaze forward. Exhale, press the ground away. Round through the spine, tuck the chin to the chest. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale, round through the spine, pushing the ground away, really trying to separate the shoulder blades on your back. Inhale, squeeze in the shoulder blades together, gazing forward. And then exhale, round the spine, tuck the chin to the chest. Do two more at the pace of your own breath. Inhale. And exhale. One more round. Good, and then come back to a neutral position. All right, from here, we're gonna lift the left knee up to the sky and then start to draw some circles with that knee. So making these circles as big or as small as feels good for you. So see if you can really move the leg with control, using the muscles and contracting the muscles. Rather than just swinging the leg around with momentum, we're using the control and strength in the leg. And then change direction on the circle. Again, just move in your own range of movement. Good. Now straighten the left leg out to the left side. Let the sole of the foot land on the floor. And then come down onto your forearms. Then take an inhale as you shift forward. And exhale as you press the hips back. And keep going. Inhale forward. Exhale, press back. Engage your Ujjayi breath if that's part of your practice. If it's not, just breathe nice and slow, in and out through the nose. Let's take one more here. Inhale forward. Exhale back, and then find a spot that feels really nice and juicy and just pause in there. Breathing into that space and see if you can really visualize sending the breath to that sensation in your leg where you feel being stretched. So with each inhale, you send the breath there to that space. And with each exhale, see if you can visualize that space, releasing. Good, and then come back up onto the palms of your hands. We're now going to bring this left leg all the way behind us and over to the right side, and then gaze over your right shoulder. Look at the left toes. Keep pressing the ground away. Take a breath in. And as you breathe out, release the back leg so it's directly behind you. Then we're going to pivot this right knee. So that right foot is coming out behind you, and then we'll lift the left arm up towards the sky. So coming into this supported side plank. So squeeze the hips, press the hips forward, pressing into that right hand, and then either gazing straight ahead or gazing up towards the sky. Good, and then on your next inhale, we're going to lift all the way up, so we're coming up onto the knee, and then slide the left hand down the left leg and reach the right arm over the head. Good, breath in here, and then breathe out, come back down to the ground, let the right hand land, and then as it lands, let the left leg lift up and the left arm reaches over the head, softening the shoulder away from the ear. Take a deep breath in here. And then exhale, come back into tabletop position. And then just start to straighten the left leg and pressing forwards and back on the leg. So just taking a bit more of a stretch into the calf here, in the ankle. Good, and then release. Let's do that on the other side. So inhale, raise the right leg out to the right side and start to draw those circles with the knee. Moving at your own pace, your own range of motion. Nice and slow, if slow is your pace. Change direction. Good, last one here. And straighten the right leg out to the right side, bring the sole of the foot down. Come down onto your forearms. And again, start to gently press forwards and press back. Link in the breath with your movement. One more time forward. And then press back, finding a nice juicy place to just hang out for a few breaths. And notice here I actually just caught myself doing it, but if your upper body starts to sink down, see if you can press into the shoulders and lift up. So this is an active movement. Good, and then press back into the palms of your hands. Reach that right leg all the way over to the left. Gaze over the left shoulder, look at your right toes, keep pressing the ground away. Good, and then when you're ready, release that back foot behind you. Pivot the left knee this time, excuse me, I'm going to have my back to you, but pressing into the left hand, reaching the right arm up to the sky, squeezing and pressing the hips forward. Take a breath in, and a breath out. And then on your next breath in, reach up, slide the right hand down the right leg, left arm comes over the head. Take an inhale here. And then exhale, left hand lands back down onto the mat and the right leg lifts off, the right arm reaches over the head. And then on your next exhale, release. Come back to tabletop. And then again, just straighten the right leg this time, bringing the toes to the floor and just gently pressing forwards and backwards. Good. All right. From here, we're going to tuck the toes under and lift the tailbone up towards the sky for downward facing dog. So hands are roughly shoulder width or even wider apart. Feet are hips width apart, and we're pressing the heels towards the floor, but if you need to bend your knees, that's perfectly fine. The goal here is not to straighten the legs, although that will eventually come the more you practice it. What we're trying to do here is find as much length as we can from the tips of the fingers to the tailbone. So really think about pressing into your hands and pushing your torso close to the thighs and lifting the tailbone up to the sky. So if you look like this, it's perfectly fine. It never matters how it looks, it only matters how it feels. And when you're ready, start to pedal out the legs, just bend in one leg at a time, making any movements that feel good here. Good, and then come back to stillness in your downward facing dog. Take an inhale to look to the front of the mat. And then as you exhale, slowly start to walk your way to the front. And we'll hang here in a forward fold. Just let everything be heavy. Maybe hold on to opposite elbows if that feels good. Let the head be heavy. Maybe shake the head yes, and shake the head no. Release any tension. Good, and then if you had the elbows held, you can release the elbows. Take an inhale to lift up halfway, find length in the spine, and exhale to fold. Inhale, rolling all the way up to standing. Reach the arms over the head, bring the palms together. Exhale, bring the palms in front of your chest. So we'll take a few rounds of sun salutations just to warm up a little bit. So take an inhale, reach the arms up, look up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, bring the palms to the floor, step the feet back for plank pose. Now drop the knees, lower all the way down to the belly, keeping the elbows tucked into the rib cage. And then inhale, lift and squeeze for baby cobra. So the gaze is down just ahead of your mat. The shoulder blades are squeezing behind your back and the glutes are engaged. And then exhale, release. And then press your way back through tabletop into a downward facing dog. Breathe in as you look forward. Breathe out as you walk to the front of the mat. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold and release. Inhale, roll up to standing. Reach the arms up over the head. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, bring the palms to the floor. Step the feet back, plank pose. Now, option here, you can take the variation we took before where we lowered the knees and lowered down onto the belly and then we lifted up for baby cobra. Or you can take a full vinyasa here. So shift forward on the toes, bend the elbows, keeping the elbows tucked into the rib cage and the shoulders do not come lower than the elbows. Then inhale, upward facing dog. So we're pressing into the hands, pressing into the tops of the feet. The glutes are engaged and the shoulder blades are squeezing together on your back. The head is pulled back. Take a breath in here. Exhale, downward facing dog. Nice. Usually people just shoot through a chaturanga and upward facing dog really quickly, but it's actually very beneficial to just spend a bit of time in these poses. All right, take an inhale, look forward. Exhale, you can step or hop to the front of the mat. Inhale, lift up halfway, and exhale to fold. Inhale, rolling all the way up to standing. Reach the arms up, palms together. Exhale, lower the hands in front of your chest. Inhale, reach the arms up, look up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, bring the palms to the floor. Step the right foot back, drop the knee. Inhale, reaching the arms up for low lunge. Exhale, shift the hips forward, soften the shoulders. Take a breath in. And then exhale, bring the palms to the floor. Step the left foot back to meet the right. Take your vinyasa. Inhale for upward facing dog and exhale for downward facing dog. Inhale, look to the front of the mat. Exhale, step or hop your way there. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold and release. Inhale, rolling all the way up to standing. Reach the arms up. Exhale, bring the hands in prayer. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, palms to the floor. Step the left foot back this time. Drop the left knee. Inhale, arms up alongside the ears. Exhale, shift the hips forward just a little bit, softening the shoulders. Inhale here. And then exhale, palms to the floor, step the right foot back to meet the left, adjust the feet if you need to, take your vinyasa. Exhale for chaturanga, inhale, upward facing dog, exhale, downward facing dog. Take a few deep breaths here. Slow breath in through the nose and an even slower breath out through the nose. Now from here, take an inhale, reach the right leg up to the sky, three-legged dog. As you exhale, draw the knee into the chest and then place the foot outside of your right hand. So we're coming into a lizard lunge. So if this feels a bit much on your wrist, you can also make fists with your hands. Or you can come down onto your forearms if that's more accessible for you. For me, I quite like to stay here and make some small movements with my hips. That feels really good for me, but invitation for you to figure out what feels good for you here. Maybe a bit of movement feels good for you, maybe bounce in the hips. Maybe stillness is more suited for you today, so you decide. Just gonna stay here for 2 more breaths. And there's always the option as well, if it feels, if it's more accessible for you, you can place your hands on blocks to help lift your chest. All right, so from here, we're gonna step this left knee outside the right foot and then sit the hips down. I'm just gonna twist to face you so you can see. So you end up looking something like this. Don't worry if it doesn't look exactly the same. Our bodies are all different shapes and sizes, so we're never gonna look the same. But you can either have the left leg bent like I do here, or you can straighten the left leg if that feels more comfortable. You can also have the right foot outside your left thigh like I do here, or you can place it in front of the left shin if that's more comfortable for you. So from here, we're going to take the left arm and hook it around the knee, and then the right hand will come behind you. So then as you inhale, you sit nice and tall, find length. And as you exhale, start to twist and look over the right shoulder. And then we'll stay here for a few breaths. So you should feel a good stretch on the outer right hip. You might also feel it into your lower back or even the thoracic spine, the mid back as well. But as long as what you feel is a good sensation and not pain, then we're on the right track. We're all good. Let's stay here for 1 more cycle of breath. Deep breath in. Slow breath out. Maybe you twist a bit more on the last breath out. And then release and cross the legs. And bring the soles of the feet to the floor. And just let the knees drop over from left to right. And then next time your knees fall over to the left, let them stay there and then just gaze over the right shoulder. And then switch, drop the knees over to the right, gaze over the left shoulder. And then bring the knees back up. And then from here, we'll come into Baddha Konasana, butterfly pose. So bring the soles of the feet together, let the knees fall open wide. And again, you can use the blocks here. So if this feels quite intense, you can place blocks here for a little bit of support. You can also bring the hands behind you and you can press and lift the chest up. If you're feeling particularly tight across your chest and shoulders, this might feel quite nice. Another option is if you feel like you need a little bit more, you can hold on to your ankles or the outsides of your feet. And then inhale as you find length in the spine, sit tall. And then exhale as you start to pivot and sort of tilt from the hips to lean forward. So rather than kind of round in the spine, to try and get the head close to the feet. Yeah, cool, I got my head by my feet, but that's not the plan. That's not the goal. We want to lengthen the spine and we want the movement to come from this tilt in the hips. All right. Take a deep breath in to release, come back up, maybe using the help of your hands to bring the knees back in. Moving the blocks out of the way if you had them, and maybe just giving the legs a little bit of a shake. Lovely. And then swing the legs around, come back into a tabletop position, and then tuck the toes under, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Let's just take 2 breaths here together. Good. Then take an inhale, reach the left leg to the sky, 3-legged dog. Exhale, draw that knee into the chest and step the foot outside the left hand for lizard again. For me, I have to slide my back foot back a little bit. Maybe you need to do the same. And then choose your poison here. Choose which position feels good. Maybe you use the blocks. Maybe you come down onto the forearms. Maybe you bounce or wiggle the hips. Do whatever feels right. And do it with love. Breathe in nice and slow. Good, and then whenever you're ready, we'll come into that seated twist on the other side. So this time we're stepping the right knee outside the left foot, and then sit the hips down. All right, and then again, we've got those options of straightening the bottom leg or changing the placement of the left foot. There's no right or wrong, just finding what works for you. Right arm this time, we're going to use the right arm to hook around the knee, and then the left hand comes behind us. And then inhale, sit tall, find length. And exhale, look over the left shoulder. Good, keep breathing nice and slow. And each time you exhale, see if you can soften into the shoulders, soften into the face, just a bit more. Good, let's take one more deep breath in here together. And then exhale, release. Uncross the legs. And then we're going to straighten the left leg out to the left side, bend the right and bring the sole of the right foot inside your left thigh. And then sit nice and tall. I quite like to pull the fleshy part of my bum out of the way so I can really ground my sitting bones down. So maybe you do that too, maybe not. When you're ready, take an inhale, reach the arms up over the head. And then exhale, bring the left fingertips somewhere towards the left toes, doesn't matter where they land. And then reach the right arm over the head. So again, we're not trying to reach the toes or touch the floor or get really far away. We're stretching the hamstring, but we also want to open up through the chest, and we're reaching that right arm over the head to find length down the right side of the body. And maintaining a nice steady breath. And you can let the forearm hang a bit floppy if you want, and let the right hand land behind your head. And then as you inhale, reach the elbow a little bit higher up towards the sky. So a very subtle movement. You might not even be able to see it on camera, but I'm just lifting my right elbow towards the sky. Good. And then on your next breath in, release. Then let the right hand land behind you. We'll transfer the weight into the right knee. Lift and squeeze the hips forward and reach the left arm over the head. So we're pointing through the left toes and reaching with the left fingertips. Nice little counter stretch. Breath in. Breath out as you lower back down. Nice. Let's go straight over to the other side. So straightening the right leg. Bend in the left, sole of the left foot comes inside the right thigh. Ground yourself. And then take an inhale, reach the arms up over the head. I don't know either. And then exhale, bring the right fingertips towards the right toes. Left arm reaches over the head. Chest is open, gaze is up towards the sky. And again, both of the sitting bones are grounded onto the floor here. And then option to let that arm go a bit floppy. And then inhale as you lift the elbow up towards the sky. At the same time, try and keep the shoulders soft. It's a bit of a challenge. Good. And then on your next exhale, release. Let the left hand land behind you. And then inhale as you lift and squeeze everything up. Point through the right toes, the right fingers. Squeeze the glutes. Inhale here. And exhale, lower back down. Lovely. And then we'll swing the legs around, come back in to tabletop, and then tuck the toes under, lift the hips for downward facing dog. All right, from here, take an inhale, reach the right leg to the sky, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to chest, and then step the foot in between the hands. Inhale, reaching the arms up for high lunge. And as you exhale, lower all the way down to the floor. Bring the palms down to the floor and start to shift the hips back towards the heels. So if you've got quite tight hamstrings, you might want to keep the sole of the foot on the floor. Otherwise, you can flex the foot. You might need to shift the foot forward a little bit. And you can keep a bend in the knee here, that's not a problem. But if you have the leg straight, try to avoid fully locking out the leg. See if you can keep a 5% bend. And then option here, you can use the blocks, placing the blocks underneath your hands so you can keep the chest lifted, keep the spine nice and long. And then if you need a bit more, you can start to slowly fold down over the leg. From here, we'll rebend into that front leg and then keep the blocks with you for now. We're going to come into a warrior three. So we're going to transfer the weight into the right foot, lift the left leg away from the floor. Bring the palms on top of your blocks, but we're not dumping all of the weight into the blocks. We're just very lightly using them for support. So we could lift the hands away. Keep the back foot flexed, so you're pointing out through the heel of the back foot, and keep the spine nice and long. Warrior three prep. And then if you feel ready, you can start to lift the hands away from the blocks, bring the hands in prayer in front of your chest. Nice, take a breath in here. As you breathe out, let the left foot land down onto the floor. And then we're gonna fold over that front leg for pyramid pose. So again, you might want to bring the blocks a little bit closer to you. Place your hands on blocks, or maybe you can bring the fingertips down to the floor. Also keep a soft bend in the front leg so you're not fully locking out the knee, or keep a big bend in it if your hamstrings are fairly tight. And then from here, we're going to pivot the feet so that the toes are facing the long edge of the mat. You might need to heel toe the feet a little bit wider. And you want the toes pointing in, heels pointing out. So bring the blocks with you as well. And then inhale, find length in the spine here. And then as you exhale, you can start to fold. And again, that fold is coming from the hips. So I'm just going to show you from a side view. So rather than tucking and rounding my spine to get my head close to the floor, I'm lengthening my spine, and then I'm tilting my hip from my hips. So the spine stays long, and the head only starts to tuck when I get down. A few breaths in and out. And then from here, take an inhale, lift up halfway. As you exhale, start to bend into the left leg and straighten the right for Skandasana. So you can keep the fingers on the floor for support here, or you can bring the hands in prayer position in front of the chest. So we're looking for a nice stretch in the right leg, in the groin area, the back of the hamstring. You might also feel this a bit in your ankle. And then from here, place the palms on the floor. Walk the hands forward to the front of the mat. Place the hands down, step the right foot back for plank, and then take your vinyasa. Take a few breaths here. Slow down the breath. Now take an inhale, reach the right leg up to the sky, three-legged dog. Exhale, draw the knee to the chest, and then step the foot in between the hands. Take an inhale as you rise up for high lunge. Exhale here, bend the knee a little bit more. Breathe in. Breathe out, lower all the way down to the floor. Bring the palms to the floor and then start to shift the hips back towards the heels. Again, you might need to heel toe, walk that foot forward a little bit. And either keeping the sole of the foot on the floor, or you can flex the foot so toes are pointing up towards the sky. Keep a soft bend in the knee or a big bend, depending on your hamstrings today. And then invitation to explore a little bit of movement in your body if that feels nice. I quite like to wiggle my hips left or right. Might feel nice, might not. You can try, see what you think. An option again to use the blocks here as well if that feels more comfortable. Take a breath in as you find length in the spine, and then take a breath out as you start to lean over the leg, just to any degree that feels comfortable for you. Good, and then inhale to lift back up. Rebend into that front leg. And then start to transfer the weight into that left foot. Maybe walk the blocks forward, lift the back foot away from the floor. Point out through that back heel and lift up the upper body. So the hands are light on the blocks. We've got a soft bend in the standing leg. And we want to pull the belly button in towards the spine. And then when you're ready, you can bring the hands up towards the chest in prayer position. Keep the spine nice and long. The lifted leg is active. We're pressing out through the heel. So the spine is nice and long here. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, let the right foot land behind you in pyramid pose, and then lean the upper body forward and down, using the blocks for support. So the back foot is 45 degrees, and the front toes are facing forward. The chest is lifted. The belly button's pulled into the spine. And the breath is soft. Taking just a few more breaths here. And then from here, just moving the blocks out of the way. Bring the palms to the floor. Step the right foot back, then the left foot back for plank. We're going to come into a side plank from here. So you can either drop the knees, pivot the foot, just like we did at the beginning of class, and take a supported side plank. Or you can step the right foot in front of the left for a sort of staggered side plank. Or you can come into full side plank by stacking the left foot on top of the right. Either way, we're pressing into the right hand, and we're sort of creating this banana shape. So we're really using our obliques to lift. We're engaging those muscles to lift up into this banana shape. Reach the left arm up towards the sky and either gaze as forward or up. Take a breath in here. And then breathe out. Bring the palms to the floor. Come back into plank pose. Drop the knees. And then open the knees nice and wide for child's pose. One breath in here. And then breathe out. Come back straight back to plank. And we'll go straight into the other side. So whatever variation you took on the first side, you can take on the other. We're lifting the upper body up. We're reaching the right fingertips away, finding as much length as we can from the left hand to the right. Deep breath in. And then breathe out. Come back into your plank pose. Take your vinyasa. Good. Well done. From here, take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, we're going to jump the feet forward and let them land on the outside edges of the mat. So we make our way into Malasana. You can use a block to sit on here if that feels more uncomfortable. More comfortable. You can place a block underneath the hips. Or maybe your Malasana looks something more like this. Maybe that's your range of motion. That's perfectly fine if it is. As long as you can feel a stretch, it really doesn't matter what it looks like. So wherever you're at, try and find some length in the spine. And if you are here down low and you feel like you need a little bit more, you can press the palms together and use the elbows to pry the knees open a little bit, just to create a little bit more of an opening in the hips. Breathing in and out now, nice and slow here. Feel the feet really grounding into the floor. And then when you're ready, sit the hips back onto the floor. You can use the help of your hands to help sit you down. From here, we're going to come into 99 pose. So bring the left leg so that the left shin is parallel to the long side of your mat, and your thigh will be parallel to the short edge of your mat. And then with your right leg, it's the opposite. So your shin is parallel to the short edge of the mat, and your thigh is parallel to the long edge of the mat. So you end up looking something like this. Now, this might already be quite intense. There's quite a lot going on here. We've got an internal rotation of the hip, and we've got an external rotation of the hip. And there's not many positions or poses that we find ourselves in usually where there's an internal rotation of the hip. So this one can feel really intense. So for you, your knees might be hovering in the air. If that's the case, you can use your blocks or the books, whatever props that you have, and just place them under your knees to help elevate them. That's just going to take a little bit of the tension and pressure away. Otherwise, you have two options here in this pose. Now, you can bring the hands behind you and lift the chest up. Now, and if you sort of tuck your pelvis under a little bit, that's going to lengthen the psoas muscle here, and also it increases this sensation of like the internal rotation. So maybe that's what you need and that feels really good for you. Otherwise, another option is to fold over the front leg nice and slowly. And now this stretch is more targeting the outside right hip. So try them both. See which one you feel that you need or what you need from this practice today. Maybe you'll do this video more than once, and one day you'll take this variation, and next time you'll take the other variation. It's your practice, so just make it work for you. And we'll stay here for a few breaths. So then just easing out of the pose, wherever you were. We're all going to bring our hands behind us now. And then just start to very slowly and gently lift the knees up, maybe shifting the hips over to the right a little bit. And we're just going to let the knees land all the way over to the other side. Now, you might find that one side feels totally different to the other. It's okay. It's completely normal. It does for me. I've got sciatica, so I definitely feel it more prominent on one side than the other. So yeah, find your position. Maybe you want to stay here. Maybe this feels really good. Maybe you decide to slowly lower down over that front leg. For me, this is my edge here, this side, because of sciatica, and I'm not going to push through it. So I just hope that if you have any injuries or if there's any discomfort in your body that you're dealing with, that you listen to your body and don't push through any pain. Breathe nice and slow. Good, and then when you're ready, really start to walk the fingertips back towards you. Again, just place the hands behind you so you can slowly lift the knees back up. And then bring the feet a little bit closer together. Just gently rock the knees from side to side. Lovely. And then when you're ready, let's come and lie down on our backs. And then bring the soles of the feet together. Let the knees fall open nice and wide. And again, if this feels quite heavy on your hips, you can place the blocks underneath your thighs. And then option here, you can place one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly, or you could bring the arms up over your head and hold on to opposite elbows. Let the shoulders relax. Maybe even close the eyes here if that feels right for you. And take in a few slow, deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Take 2 more like that in your own pace. And then seal the lips and continue to breathe just through the nose for the remainder of practice. Switch position of the grip on the elbows if you had them held, just to even both sides out. And just notice if you're carrying any tension or clenching, tensing, anything that's unnecessary here that you don't need to. And see if you can just surrender. Just let gravity do the work here. And then when you're ready, release the hold of the elbows. Use the help of your hands to gently lift the knees up. And then hug the knees into the chest. Give yourself a squeeze. Then take happy baby. So open the knees as nice. Open the knees as nice as your armpits. Open the knees as wide as your armpits. And then hold on to the outsides of the feet, the ankles or the shins, and just gently pull the knees towards your armpits. See if you can actively press down into the lower part of your back. Maybe take a gentle sway from left or right. And then release, making your way into Shavasana. So you can use the blocks underneath your knees here for support if you need to. Otherwise, you can let the feet fall open. Just let them land wherever feels comfortable. Bring the arms down by your sides, palms facing up. And tuck in the shoulder blades under. Time to rest. So there's nothing that you need to do right now other than to rest. So again, draw your awareness to the connecting points between your body and the ground. Just becoming aware of where you are in space. And just focus here on your body and your breath. Seeing if you can slow the breath down even more. So I'm going to leave you here in this Shavasana. So feel free to stay here for as long as you like. Just focus in on one breath at a time. And if your mind starts to wander, just gently guide your awareness back to your breath. Thank you so much for allowing me to share my practice with you and for trusting me to guide your practice today. hopefully see you again on the mat for another video. But until then, have an amazing day.